Good evening. It's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. It's Sunday, August 23rd, 2020. As always, I am not a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist, or a financial advisor. So if you need one of those, please seek those. Welcome, everybody. Please, if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am always grateful to have new people join. If you're old, thank you for sticking with me. I have always said this, that I have the best subscribers on YouTube. This is a really lovely community, and really kind people that I have gotten a chance to read for privately. So I actually have gotten to see faces and hear voices. So it's been really kind of neat. I do have a couple of announcements. Some things are going to be changing here in the next couple of weeks. I am going to start requesting that you pay $5 for each question you ask. I am running into needing to figure out a way to slow down the madness. And also when I get to the people that just leave the channel when I'm doing the readings and don't stick around, it is a time suck for me. And I feel like it's sort of disrespectful of my time. And the people that are not really paying attention. So I'm going to start setting the boundary and starting to respect my gifts and request $5. And I think I'm going to start that on September 13th. So that gives you a couple weeks still to do free. It is still way cheaper, and the only way I will ever do one question readings is on these live streams. I will never do them that way. For a private reading, it's just too time consuming to do one question for people. So all the time. So if you want a private reading, I love doing private readings. So you can check that out. It's connected in the link below. The PayPal me for donations is on the link below. The other thing I'm going to start doing too is I'm going to offer packages for mentoring for psychic development. I haven't done that, and I really feel like that's something I'm going to start offering besides just private readings. And then come January, way past June. In January, I'm going to have the course set up for psychic development in group settings. So it'll be a little bit more cost effective for those of you who want to do more of a group thing. Those will be live. They will not be just come and go as you want. So they will be set days and times. We will be meeting together because it is very important with psychic development to actually have feedback and interaction. I think that I'm sure there's plenty of people who have other kinds of coursework, but I really think it's much more beneficial to you and to your own development and to growing at a faster pace and a more comfortable pace too with that feedback. It's really important. If you're a manifester, because this is really kind of cool. So someone I know, I posted it on my Twitter, so you can see the link there. And my Twitter is @myspiritualfriend, FRND, because they won't give me enough room to put the I and E in there. So it's Pacific time, midnight to 2 a.m. tonight. And so Eastern time, New York time would be 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. There's this like really cool thing happening astrologically where it's like prime time to manifest what you want. So if you're up, figure out the time frames. But if you go to my Twitter, you can find the link to it, or the link to this astrologer who posted it on her Facebook page. It's really cool. It'd be a great time for you if you're looking to manifest, stuff. So please please subscribe, please share. As always, I'm happy to be here. Let's start the readings. KK is my moderator. She is a rock star. I adore her. I am beyond grateful for her. So be kind to her. She's going to keep everybody in line. KK, I'm probably going to need the screenshots tonight, knowing that I actually talked instead of just went straight into readings. Okay. Okay, Lily, messages from your guides. I need my rocks. Ooh. I have a blanket on my lap, like a grandma. Okay. Lily wants a message from her guides. Lily, have you been having headaches? That's the first thing that's coming. Or do you suffer from migraines? That's the very first thing I'm feeling. And I also heard be careful. So it feels like not like there's anything bad is going to happen, but it feels like I'm not I'm like dropping things a lot, that kind of feeling, like that kind of a be careful, like pay more attention, find a way to be more grounded. So easy ways to ground are visualizing roots coming up out of the ground and wrapping around your legs and pulling you down. Just jumping to feel the weight of your body is a good way to do it. Nice, deep cleansing breaths is really important. Oh, when I feel really space cadet-y, like if I do a ton of readings, like at a psychic fair, I like to eat like sugar. It's a heavier, lower level energy, so I'll eat like a cookie or something, and that'll sort of help ground me. If you're diabetic, don't do that. And I'm not saying do it all the time, but sometimes it is actually a way to kind of ground you and pull you in. Let me see. You do have migraines. Okay. So then that's the message for you. That's just a validation for me that I am connecting in with you. You're welcome. Just focus on grounding, I feel like is really important for you, and being mindful and staying focused on paying attention to what you do. It's like forgetting that I leave. It's like when you set something down sometimes and then you're so tired or whatever, you forget where you put it and it's sitting right in front of you. Like I had to do a find my phone the other day because I put it on my dresser and then I put something on top of it and couldn't find it. So I literally had to and I keep my ringer off pretty much all the time. So, 18A Rob. Will me and E get on well at the gathering? Do you think we will last and be happy together? Can you tell me what E's name is, please? I'm a fan of names since I can't hear a voice to ping into here and I don't have a picture to ping into. Any little bit is helpful. Owen. Oh, it's Irish? Owen. Okay. Okay. So I feel like you will get along well. It feels like initially like a bit of awkwardness, like just that like icebreaker kind of like feeling of expectation. It's weird. I feel like I'm in, when you're in a wave pool, the way your body starts to feel like when you go up and down, and then or if you've been like, I don't know, when I was a kid, we'd go in the ocean and we'd play in the ocean all day long, and then you'd like come out and you'd still feel like when you'd go to sleep at night, you could still feel like you were in the ocean moving around. It's that feeling that I have right now of like going up and down in waves. And what's really weird, I don't know, are they having pink champagne there? Because I feel like I'm seeing like pink bubbly around me. Like it's the weirdest. And that might just be a validation. Like you get there and there's a lot of like pink champagne flowing. I don't know. That might just be a validation, but I do feel like you'll get along and I feel like it'll be okay. Just like an initial awkwardness. So I don't know if Owen is like a little awkward. But I feel like funny and really smart. Patricia, next long term. And if you're disappointed that I'm moving into paid readings, I've been doing this for over a year for free. So I'm just trying to figure out how to because it's now starting to push towards originally I wanted to do a half hour and now we're pushing into 2 hours just to get everybody's questions answered. So I feel like it's okay for me to ask now. And it's nominal, and it's nothing that people can't afford if they really, really, really want to ask a question. So I'll still require that you only do one question per session, by the way. Okay, Patricia, within how many months will I meet my next long-term romantic partner? I'm feeling about 8 months. And it seems like a long time, but I feel like I keep hearing piled high. So I feel like things are kind of on your plate right now that you're just needs to be moved out and sort of like focus, because you're not like, as much as you want that relationship, you're sort of not really ready to delve into it and give yourself over and have the time for it. Alma Dulce. Going back to work this week, finally, will it be positive? Any surprises? It will be. I do feel like you're going to be more tired than you expect. And it's going to be like a little overwhelming, like getting used to the new policies and procedures and things that are in place. And I feel like just like, when we first started going out wearing masks in the stores, I don't know, like at least in New Jersey, we dropped into masks like right away. I think we were the first state. So it was like weird going out, and like even like it just felt more tiring to do normal things. So it just feels like being more tired, more empathically a little bit overwhelmed, but you'll be fine and it'll be okay. And it just feels quieter than usual. Hello, Elantra. I think you're new here. I don't know if I've seen your name before. Welcome. Oh, wait, I have, because I just saw the name Marquise. Sorry, I didn't remember you. Don't take it personally. I'm usually in a little bit of a, but I saw the name Marquise, and I remember that name being said because one of my kids, my gym coach is Marquise. He's a very nice person. Jean, any messages for you? If you're going to do the manifesting tonight, make sure you're doing the I am. So as if it's already there, as if you already have it in a positive sense, not like I want to have, don't do that. That's still focusing on not having it. It's I am. I am. I am happy. I am wealthy. I have, an overflowing checking account. Money flows to me easily, like as if it's already there. I lose weight easily. My body only holds on to the caloric density that it needs. I only eat the foods that my body needs. I when I crave something, I just eat enough to fill the craving, and then I'm done. Thinking of like weight, I don't know why food and weight things, but the people in my office are all really cool, and I enjoy hanging out with them. Or if there is somebody that bugs you, I no longer seem to be bothered by this person. They're off my radar. That's a way to do it. The other thing I might do, besides doing the psychic mediumship mentoring, is doing like some mentoring to help you guys do your manifestations and write the things. Because I tend to see, and I've had people say this to me, where I can hear just a word or a bit off, where one person in particular, a reverend that I work with, she's like, you said that I just had to switch one word and like everything changed for me. Like it just like everything changed and was so much. And she's like, I will always be grateful for that. So I'm thinking about doing that, and I'll do like 15 or 30-minute blocks for that of doing private, helping you guys build, intuitively help you build your manifestations. Okay. Sorry, Regine. Okay. So it's interesting. They're showing me you like laughing, and I feel it really like happiness really in my heart chakra here. And I just want to like it's like you're finally able to relax a little bit, and I feel like finding the joy, and it doesn't the energy doesn't feel so heavy. So it's just sort of like just enjoy that and embrace that, and keep allowing the little things in life to shine the brightness within you. Um, that you're not going to lose it and go back to that heavy feeling. It feels like it's going to keep getting better and better. So I don't know if you've been suffering from a little bit of depression or a little bit of anxiety, but it feels like that's kind of you're moving beyond that now, and you're starting to find the joy again. I don't know if I wrote your name, so I'm going to put it again here. Hi, Lucy. Lucy says, hello. Is there anything good coming my way? I've been sad for our past couple of months. I do feel like you are an empath, and I talk about this a lot, and being an empath in the world today is like overwhelming. I also feel like energetically there's been a lot of shifting happening, and this is for everybody, where people and their character is really starting to shine, and not always in a positive light. And the universe is sort of saying like, you can no longer ignore this, like boundaries are having to be drawn. Relationships are sort of falling away. And this is like literally for everybody, especially in the last 2 months. Do you have something going on with your left hand, or do you have, I don't know if it's like arthritis or carpal tunnel or something, because I don't know why I'm moving to here, or do you have a history of having something with your hand? It's that feeling of also it feels like needing to do more self-care, and sort of learning to focus more on, and it's not about taking a shower and going and getting a massage and all that. It's literally about looking within, learning to set boundaries, learning to heal yourself, learning to not beat up on yourself so much, and have a like the inner dialogue be kinder and gentler. And there's a really lovely, and I will probably keep mentioning this. Her name is Dr. Nicole LaPerla. She goes by the holistic psychologist. She's written a book. It's going to be released on March 9th of 2021. And she is all about self-help and self-healing, and kind of teaching the tools and where all this comes from. I highly, highly recommend her, because I really do feel like this would be like a good place for you to kind of start looking, because it just feels like needing to heal some old wounds, and needing to like self-forgiveness, and learning to just like know that you, in every situation, you've always done the best that you could based on the tools that you had. And some of the tools you were given as a child were just kind of not sufficient to make it through all the way through life. They were great for being in survival mode, but long term they hinder you rather than help you. So I will leave you with that, Lucy. Nicole, I do feel like, again, and because I don't want to keep beating down the Jose question, because what ends up happening is I end up reading the anxiety and stress that you feel about it, rather than like the full on like what's going on. So I feel like what you need to do is just enjoy it. Stop worrying about where it's going to go. Just enjoy it and have zero expectations. I do feel like it will end up going somewhere, but I feel like really the most important thing for you to do is just enjoy it. No expectations. He will be coming back home. Okay. And he doesn't have anything serious going on out there. Hi, Allie. Welcome. Autumn. So Autumn, I feel like by November, you're going to kind of be up on the upswing. So it's like late October, early November, feeling like things are going better and easier and smoother. It feels like kind of dredging along through September. It's not the worst thing in the world, and you will survive. And you will make it through it. Does it suck? Sure. And it's okay to say this sucks going through this. I think like people think like, oh, I'm into manifestation. If I say this sucks, then I'm doing the wrong thing. No, it's okay to say this shit sucks. And I'm going to get through it, right? This shit sucks. And I've survived worse. I can do this. So it's okay to say that. You're going to get there, but it just feels like it by end of October, early November, it feels like kind of picking up. Hi, Kimmy's. Of course you will find love. It does feel like it honestly, like for real, like a real impactful relationship where it's like a long term. I feel like it's still about 2 years out yet. It doesn't mean there's going to be no one between then and now, or there's not going to be any crushes or that excitement or whatever. It feels like I need to learn some stuff, kind of grow, especially like, do you also have headaches? Or sinus, like I have so much pressure here. So it's like, this is like where your sinuses are. And also, do you have a history of a broken nose? I don't know. That one kind of came up as like a possibility, but it's just such pressure here. I feel like needing to learn to set boundaries and learning kind of like a little bit more communication where you're more of an advocate for yourself. It feels like needing to go through relationships like that before you hit this one. Ekra, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Dream Girl. Now, FYI, if you are new here, only post a question one time, and my order looks different than your order. It's funny when KK will send me screenshots. I'm like, oh, it really is a different order. I don't know why that happens. So be patient. Don't think that I skipped you. Don't panic. Towards the end, if you really did get skipped, I will stay here with you. I promise. Okay. Sometimes there's a reason that you get stuck staying to the end. Maybe there's another message throughout that you also resonate with that you need to hear. So don't panic. It'll be okay. I just want to scroll down quick. Dream Girl, I'm still with you here. Hang on. Okay, you're welcome, Kimmy. Okay. All right, we already that far in? Goodness. Okay. Sometimes I panic and I'm like, there's still time for questions. I just want to keep everybody rolling at the top here where I'm at. Okay, Dream Girl, I'm with you. Do you like Dave Matthews? That's the song rolling through my head right now because of that. When I was coming down here, I swear to God, I thought I was going to sing. So someone posted something on a Facebook page I'm on for college and like songs that were popular. Graduated from high school in 96. So it was like Chumbawamba. And it's like, pissing the night away. You know, the like terrible chorus. I really can't sing. So God did not give me that gift. He gave me the gift of talking to dead people. So, you know. Okay. And it's the worst song and it played all the time in the bars. Okay. Sorry. Sorry if you're a Chumbawamba fan. Okay. Dream Girl. Sorry. Patience. They said you're holding it together like glue. Are you the glue of your family? Are you like always like going around? And also, do you have allergies? I discovered colloidal silver. I'd been told about it a while ago, but the nurse, Western medicine person of me was like super skeptical. And then I talked about it with somebody who does more naturopathic stuff. And I got like the lowest level, the 10 parts per million. It gets rid of mosquito bites, y'all. Like my kids, we jokingly call hydrocortisone cream and Benadryl cream summertime lotion here, um, because you're always slathering it on for all the mosquito bites. It like literally just there are like my one little one, she always gets bites on her face, and they're gone in 30 minutes. So I'm not telling you to do it. Do your research, do your own thing. Okay. So I feel like just being the glue to your family and holding everything together, and sort of like, um, Dream Girl needing to not put that emotional weight on your shoulders, that it's your responsibility to keep everybody happy and, safe. Like there, you can't keep people from having emotional reactions or not being able to deal with life. Like they have to have those experiences, and it isn't your responsibility. It feels like being codependent. Um, and that's not, like, a lot of people are codependent. Like a lot of nurses are codependent. Um, it's just and also like it's learning your own boundaries and learning when to say no and it's enough, because you're really sort of sacrificing your own sanity to make sure everybody else is happy. Does this make sense to you, Dream Girl? Are you still here? The Maria, the readings are closed for the evening. You can come back next week. They will still be free next week. As of September 13th, I'm going to request that people start paying $5 for a question. Okay, and I guess that ends Dream Girls because she's not here. So, Elantra. You asked about Marquise and has Marquise thought about you? He has, but I also feel like he's like kind of off doing his own thing too. So it's like you're there in the back of his mind, but it's not like all I'm doing is thinking about you. I do feel like you'll be in contact and he'll reach out somehow. Leon. Hello. I literally heard not anytime soon. So it feels like still room for growth for you. And I actually feel like room for growth for her, because I feel like you're doing a lot of work. So kudos for that. I want to say that, like, you're still working on it. But I also feel like she's got room for growth too. Like I feel like she's got her own stuff that she needs to kind of work through too. So I don't see it anytime soon. Okay. Dulcie B would like a message from my father, Red Reginald, if not a general reading. So I'm picking up with Reginald a lot of health issues. So I'm going to start with where I feel like there's blood pressure issues. Something with my throat. That was the very first thing, was like this tightness, or like, when you're starting to get a sore throat and it's like that, there's like a pain and almost like a swelling in the back of my throat here. And I felt a little bit of a headache. I feel like blood pressure issues. I'm leaning towards diabetic and having like really not taking care of myself. Were there multiple issues? Like it feels like having multiple systems in place where there's health issues. So renal, cardiac, and I'm leaning towards having like a stroke or something like that. It's like, I feel like I have a lot of issues and medical issues at the end. Does this resonate? Chronic acid reflux and alcoholism. So would he have had a stroke from having, you didn't know him very well. Okay. So passed from a heart attack, high blood pressure issues. Okay. So that could have caused the headache because that is one sign of it. I still feel like there's a vessel issue. So maybe with the alcoholism, because you can get something, called esophageal varices. And it's where there's like a weakening of the veins in the esophagus. It would also cause, by the way, high blood pressure issues. Did he leave when you were really little? Because it's that feeling of, I see this little girl and feeling like and like feeling like I'm sorry, like, but I feel like I very little and I sort of just kind of left and couldn't do it and couldn't be a father. It feels like as a very little girl. 8. Yeah. He says you were better off. He goes, I didn't know how to be a father. I feel like he didn't have a father, really. He didn't have somebody in his life. It was chaos in his house. And I feel like his mom had mental health issues. It's that feeling of like my mom not being right. I keep getting better off, better off, better off. And I still feel like he's doing a lot of work on the other side. I don't feel like he's like enlightened yet. I feel like he's still got like a lot of like kind of a, like he's doing night school. um but when he says it's that feeling of like really feeling like you're better off that happened, even if it feels like I wish I would have had a father and like had that fairy tale and everything, but it's like, but if you would have had him there, it would have been so much worse, that you're better off. And it wasn't like I left because I didn't love you, or you weren't enough to keep me there, or you weren't enough to keep me sober, because alcoholics don't think that way, right? It's a disease, and their brain, like when you're a logical person and you're not an alcoholic and you're not an addict, trying to understand what an addict or an alcoholic doesn't match up. I've known a lot of addicts, and the one thing, like, from somebody who's not one, it's easy to go, well, just don't drink. But it doesn't work that way for somebody else. So, and like, it's easy to say to them, like, well, you're important to me and I don't want you to drink. And they would say like, oh, well, too bad. This is all I have. Right. And you're kind of like, that doesn't make sense. Obviously you have more than that, but in their mind, it just doesn't, being without that doesn't make sense. And there's nobody around that will keep them sober until they want to stay sober. So it's not about you not being good enough or being important enough. He loved you in his own capacity. And I feel like the feeling I keep getting is, if I had stayed, it would have been worse for you. He didn't feel like he was enough, and he couldn't have imagined, like, that was the most loving thing he could do. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm sorry that you got a sucky, hand dealt to you. Uh, it sucks. There's no way to say like, but like there's like, it just sucks. And I'm sorry. Manya, what blessing and love is coming for you? What's interesting is I heard, do you really believe you're worthy of love? Not that you're not, but there's something there that's holding you back, that doubts that the right one's going to come along, that doubts that you're going to meet someone that's going to really fully embrace you and love you. So you got to release that belief system. You've got to just get that out of there. You are good enough. So do that silly Saturday Night Live thing. I don't know if you remember it. I don't remember his name, but he would look in the mirror and say, I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And gosh darn it, people like me. So like you literally have to reprogram your brain. And for years, that doubt has been there. And that's the ego, right? That's the lower part of us that sits there and says that. So for years, you've been telling those things. You have to like erase those things by saying the positive end of it. Like I am good enough. And of course people would love me. Of course someone's going to fall deeply and madly in love with me and respect me and care about me. And don't fear that you're going to marry somebody like your father, or fear you're going to have a relationship like your parents. You are not them. That you didn't have their life experiences exactly the same. And even if they are your parents and there is influence there, you had different life experiences. So take that fear out, because it puts energy towards it that you're going to pull that in, right? I don't know if I typed your name, so I'm going to type it now. Okay. Blue Storm, hello, hello. So you said, is it worth following up on Friday's meeting to send the video clip to Jack, who has, I'm guessing, an agenda and perhaps conflict of interest? I'll please like and subscribe. I feel like the feeling I get is it's worth sending it, but not so much that because he has it, but it's for receipts that you sent it. So that's what I feel like it is. It's not about that he really is going to do much with it. It just feels like for receipts to show that you sent it. And I don't know why, but that feels important. Nancy, hello, hello. What should I do for my sick dog, Sadie? Can I be honest? Go to the vet. I feel nauseated with her, but I can't pin like what it is. And usually like a picture helps me with that when I look at an animal if they're not. Just because I can't pin it, and that to me is like not something I feel comfortable being like, it'll be fine, because I feel really nauseated when I think of that, of your dog, like her name. She has cancer. Is she keeping food down? I will say this. You can use colloidal silver on pets. So do your research and see if that's something that you might try. Because if it feels like, what have I got to lose? kind of thing. See if that helps. That's all I'm going to say on that one because I'm not getting a clear, and I don't want to read on something where I'm not like 100%. Does she like to lay on a heating pad? Because I keep feeling like that comfort of laying on a heating pad, like achy joints, and laying on a heating pad, enjoying that. But look into colloidal silver. Yeah, let me put your name because I didn't put your name. I didn't read. I have hermit crabs and fish, so I didn't really read a lot about colloidal silver for pets, but I did see like things that say that you can do it for your animals. So do some research on that and see if you come up with something. They may also be able to, like the vet may be able to give her something to help her with nausea. I keep thinking weed, but I don't know if they have like a CBD for dogs. Oh, wait, they do. They do have CBD stuff for dogs. And I won't say how I know, but I know. Not because I bought it for me, because I guess somebody my sister-in-law knew has a company. Shoot, I lost my space. There we are. Nancy, Erica. Is there a message from Ekra? Sorry. My eyes wanted me to say Erica. Ekra. They said you speak your truth and you see the light and you just need to move towards it. So it feels like kind of making the decision of removing negative energy and toxic people from your life, and moving towards making those steps to have a healthier, calmer, higher vibrational life. It isn't, oh, I'm better and I'm better than this person, that person. It's like making the decision to find peace. And you find peace in your life by finding peace within. And finding peace within means setting boundaries and like deciding who is worth your energy. And that doesn't make you a bad person or judgmental. Hello, happily ever after, Irene. When will Tim reach out to me? Or will Tim reach out to me? If yes, when? You should have stayed with your first one, because that means there's belief that it'll happen. And we create our world, right? We manifest and create our world. Irene, do you ever feel like someone is touching the back of your head? Because I just got that feeling. So I'm just trying to see if I'm connecting in with this. Do you ever feel like someone kind of like the back of your head? Curly hair. Whoa, what did I just do? There we go. Sorry. I enlarged my screen accidentally. Yes, you do. Okay. All right. Ekra, I gave your reading, so you just have to go back and listen to it. Kind of rewind it a little bit. Okay, so I'm not feeling strong that he is going to be reaching out. It feels like it's like this distance there and this, I don't know. I just don't feel like he is going to. And it's more because I feel like he's kind of flaky and not really dependable or reliable at this point in his life. Priscilla Allen, what's coming your way in love? There's a lot of love tonight. MD, I'm just answering yours quick. I do keep hearing that you will have more children. Like every time I read over your question, I hear yes, but I don't know when. I feel like one more, but I don't know when. And they're not giving me a time frame, so I'm sorry about that. Okay, Priscilla Allen. I don't know if I typed your name, so I'm typing it again if I didn't. It's coming. I feel like I'm not going to have another serious relationship. It doesn't mean I'm not going on any dates or there's not anybody, like have little crushes and things like that. But until May, it feels a little bit out. So, I feel like the end of year and life just has you really, really busy. And it feels like in May, I feel like I can breathe again. And that's like where I sort of relax and allow the energy in for it. Okay, I heard for your move to Ohio, smooth as a cucumber or cool as a cucumber, smooth as a baby's butt. That's what it is. I feel like it'll go really well for your move to Ohio. I do feel like it's going to be a little bit more difficult to make friends. I feel like people's like, but you're going to find your niche and your people. It just takes a little bit more work than you had hoped for or expected. Happily ever after. How does Raza feel? What does Raza feel about me? I feel like Raza is fickle. It's that like always changing my mind, always back and forth, never really making us like even about food. Like, I don't know, should I get this? Like if you go out to eat, should I get this or should I get that? Well, but am I going to be happy if I eat this? Like I feel that way about everything in life. Does that make sense? Do you know Raza very well in order to know that information? Hi, Shug. You retracted your message. Why? Okay. Veronica, I do feel like Michael will reach out to you. I keep getting a 2, so I don't know if that's 2 days, but I do feel like Allie, can I know something about what's coming in my life? You're welcome. So I keep hearing always keeping score, always keeping score. Like I literally felt like it was a tennis match. So, and you know, like in tennis, they always are announcing like before the serve what the score is. That's like the only sport I feel like does that. So maybe that's why. But does that make sense? Are you always keeping score? Are you always making sure, like, you know what I mean? Allie, are you here? So if you're always keeping score, you're always sort of in your mind tally marking where somebody's at in a relationship, if you're getting what's due to you, if something's fair. Like even when you're in relationships, you're sort of always kind of like tick marking in your head the wrongs they have done, the good things they have done, sort of like if it's all fair. This can also be something a Libra does because Libras have the scale of justice. They always want things to be fair. You're very insecure. Sometimes when we're really insecure, we're always tally marking, like making sure you're getting what's due to you, making sure it's all fair. And you're a Libra. Okay. This is you. So they're saying always keeping score. I actually feel like what's good that's coming to you, and maybe this isn't like, you know, when people are like, I want to hear that I'm getting $1 million and I'm getting rich and I'm getting this, and I'm getting that. I feel like finding in the next 2 months, finding inner peace. So starting to like settle in and getting more comfortable in your own skin and not worrying about so much about what everybody else is doing and how it's like compared to where you're at. It's sort of like just learning to focus on you. I really, 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 really highly recommend the holistic psychologist, Dr. Nicole LaPerla. She, just because if you don't have the time to do your therapy or you don't have the money or the insurance or whatever, she teaches and it's a really healthy way of approaching it. And just give her a shout, give her a look see and see. She's on Instagram, she's on YouTube. I really, really like her. I think it'll be helpful, but I feel like in 2 months, you're going to have a huge shift of self-esteem and self-worth and self-love. Now, if you're not there, it doesn't mean that somebody can't fall in love and good things can't happen to you. But sometimes when we're not there, we allow people who aren't good to us in, and the ones that are good to us, we don't think we're worth having them be good to us. It's like our brain lies to us. Is that radical acceptance? Is that Eckhart Tolle or however you say it? I personally didn't vibe very well. I don't know why. I just energetically didn't like feel his stuff, but doesn't mean he's not good. It's like I don't recommend a lot of meditations to people because some people's voices annoy me that wouldn't annoy you, and or the other way around. So I think there's value in every one of those people that are out there teaching. Okay. Whew. All right. So Allie, try not to retract your questions. I know it's like you want to stay anonymous, but it helps me kind of figure out where I'm at and not lose my space. I know that sounds strange, but the way I'm scanning back and forth. Hi, Devry. Hi, Sherry. So this is interesting. I feel like you will be married in spirit and soul, but not necessarily on paper. So it feels like by the time I meet this person, because it feels about 2 years out, that doesn't become, that paper isn't as important as our connection. There are people that I have read for, I'm like, oh, you're married. They're like, no, we're not. And I'm like, yeah, you are. Like, your souls are married. And there's people that I've met who are contractually married and they are like not together. Like energetically, there are things. So it feels like for some reason, the contract part isn't as important anymore as just the actual connection that we have. It may mean that you'll be contractual, like, or you'll be like almost instantaneously a click and like a union without and then the paper comes later. But for some reason, it just feels like that's not as important by the time you meet him. Jade, I would like to know about what the future holds for me. You realize that's like a full reading, guys, by the way. So I will give you a little snippet of whatever they give me, but that future holds for me is like, how many hours you got? Like, okay, so Jade. So I actually feel uncertainty. And I feel uncertainty job wise. And I feel like the feeling I get is ending up sort of building your own company, going off and working on your own and building your own thing and becoming more of an entrepreneur. Because I feel that uncertainty is what they said, is that like very loud and clear was uncertainty and that feeling of going off on my own and making a way for myself. So there you go. Britt, you're wondering do I see your job going completely remote long term, giving me options to travel in the future? I don't see it going completely remote, though it feels like it doesn't feel like I'm in the office all the time. Maybe I'm in 1 day a week or once a month, but it feels like I am having to go in occasionally for whatever reason, like a check-in, I don't know, see if you're still alive or you're an actual person and not a robot. Just kidding. But it feels like mostly remote, but not completely remote. And I do see you traveling. What's interesting is I see you living like, I don't know if it's on an island, but it feels more tropical. Beach, ocean, obviously. And then traveling back for that. So it's like, it feels like maybe even actually moving somewhere that just sort of like has a slower pace and then flying to wherever the main office is to do the work there and then going back. So maybe not even traveling so much, but actually moving to a place that's a little different. KK. Monica C. Oh, I thought you were asking a question and that you were. I have a message from my spirit guides. So it's that feeling that you you're holding yourself back. As they said, get yourself going. What are you waiting on? What's holding you back? So why are you dragging your feet? So I don't know what this is, if it's getting your house organized or even something with work and starting a project with work or this vision of this side business or whatever it is, but it feels like you're dragging your feet. And you're the only one holding yourself back because the universe has everything ready for success and ready for you to do what you want to do. And stop questioning whether you're be good enough or if the idea is good enough or things are good enough, because it is. You're the only one who got that inspiration. I really do feel like this is more leaning towards career. And are you thinking about going back to school? Because I feel like there might need to be a certification or something involved in that. You are moving forward, but I feel like there's something holding you back a little bit. Are you thinking about going back to school? Ah, are you already like a Reiki master or Reiki level, whatever, Reiki trained? So YouTube is lagging. Yeah, that's okay. It always does. There's always a 60-second delay about um not yet. Okay. So going back to school, they're like sort of like, why are you waiting? Why aren't you doing these little things? Like, why are you just thinking about it? So get moving. You're the only person holding yourself back. Okay. You will be successful. You will bring in, it will bring in. Now, is it going to be like the giant moneymaker that you can only do one? No, probably not. You probably have to do like a combination of them. It's not about focusing on one thing. It's about actually expanding and doing all of them and offering different things. Okay. I think Sherry was next. And then ST stuff. So Sherry, I'm gonna get you on just this ST one a little bit more specific so I can I keep leaning towards, I don't know if this is a career change, but this is just the next thing of being, I keep seeing you like, it's customer service oriented. So it may be doing something in HR, being like an HR person. It may be, I see something with phones and talking. So maybe you're even doing counseling on phones, or that there's something like in the helping realm of people. And that's all I keep seeing. I don't feel like you should be a nurse or you should do this, but it does feel very service oriented towards people. Sherry. Have you been focusing on learning about rocks? Because I keep like getting pulled towards like you and stones. Um, Crystals. Sorry, I call them rocks. Because I think people take stuff like way, way, way more seriously and like they get all silly about it. So I call them rocks. Yes. Okay, good. So it feels like that's moving in the right direction, and this is something you should be doing. I also feel like it might lend towards you either like infusing them with energy and with intention and giving them as gifts, or selling them that way with infusing them with intention, and or making jewelry or doing something where it becomes a healing, like as a job, like selling to other people. Hello, jazz hands. Oh, I'm glad you're doing better. I actually feel like I'm hearing 2, and I feel closer to 2 weeks rather than 2 months, but I feel very soon. I don't feel like it's gonna be much longer. Um, and it's almost unexpected. So I don't know if she put something in like a long time ago and forgot about it, or somebody reaches out to her randomly, but it feels like an unexpected offer. And I'm glad you're doing better this week. Lana or Lana. What do my spirits got me to know? I keep seeing 222. Look up for 222. Just Google. These are the numbers I use. Now everybody has their own whatever, but this is the ones I use are the Doreen Virtue ones. I think those were the first ones I was introduced to, and I sort of resonate the best with them, especially like the other ones. I'm like, people are making those up. And really, you can create whatever the language is for yourself, so you can make up what a number means. Like for me, 13 is lucky. It is not an unlucky number. So I decided that, so it is. So, and I don't have a fear around the number 666 or anything else, because I learned in my spiritualist reverend course that actually whenever the number 6 shows up in the Bible, it means that something psychic is going to happen. So I don't have that fear or freakiness around that number. So for that, I would look at Doreen Virtue and see what it means. It's something with the Ascended Masters. I don't know. But Google that. That's what I would say for the 222. There's a song I'm hearing. It's about keeping your head up. So it's sort of just like, try not to get so down. What is this song? Hang on. I'm Googling because, Andy Grammer. Oh, and you can so you got to keep your head up and you can let your hair down. You got to keep your head up and you can let your hair down. So like you can relax, keep your chin up. Things are going okay. Things are moving in your favor. It may not look like it right now, but it feels soon everything's going to feel a little bit more stable and like, okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I don't know what this is about. I wish I could tell you. Sometimes things are a little bit more vague. Shauna. What do you need to do or change to have a better version of yourself? First of all, we got to change this idea. This is for everybody. This is not just for Shauna. That we're not a good enough version of ourselves, or what's my purpose in life? I don't know who the fuck put that idea out there, that there's like some purpose in life we need to search out and that we have not fulfilled it unless we figure out exactly what it is. I think that's bullshit. Okay. And I think it's like, let me sell a fucking book. And then it creates fear and panic in everybody who's like, I got to figure out my purpose. Your purpose is you being here right now. So chill out. You are a wonderful version of yourself. And it doesn't mean that there's not room for improvement, but if we constantly think that we're not a good enough version, we're sort of creating this crappy belief system. So I'm good enough just like I am, and I'm okay with growth too. Like, relax about it a little bit. And stop worrying about your purpose. You're on your purpose. This is your purpose. Every single moment, every single, like, the reason why I say this is because you think about, like, I've told people stories about, like, oh, do you remember when? And it was like something that was a very important, a moment that really sat with me and really registered with me and held in my memories for a long time about a person and an event. And they're kind of like, no. And people have done that to me. I'm like, no. And the thing is, every single bit and every single experience is important, because even if it's not important to you, it somehow affects somebody else. So that's part of your purpose too. Your purpose is just being you, fully embodied in who you are in every moment that you are. That is your purpose. There is no one thing. If I said, well, my purpose is to be a reader, well, that negates me being a mother to my children, and that negates and dismisses my marriage and everything else. Like that, like everything you are, the whole aspect of you just being embodied in this body and your soul here in this moment now is your purpose. Sorry, I get annoyed on tangents and stuff. Okie doke. Now, where can you grow? Where is there room for growth? I guess that's it. Letting go of this belief system that you aren't enough as you are. Being okay with showing up with whatever you are, wherever you are, and however you are in the moment. And knowing that it may not be as good as yesterday, but it may be a hell of a lot better than tomorrow. And it may not be as good as bad as yesterday. You may be doing a lot better today, and just being okay with being you and loving you and being gentle with yourself. And then the rest of it sort of just flows. The growth comes with that. Starry Sky, yes, of course you did. She asked if her wife and her had other lifetimes together. Of course you did. I actually feel like you were siblings and sisters in another life. And I actually feel like you've been married several times in several lives, like married to each other in several lives. You definitely have an interesting kinship. Like I believe in soul families and that we all travel together, but I also believe that there are ones that we connect with more and have more in common with, and more of a tight bond with. And I feel that for the both of you. Marijuana community. Will you make more money this year? I feel like there will be an uptick in October, November, but it feels like more November-y. More, I feel like just a little bit. It doesn't feel like a lot. It feels like just a little bit. I feel like I'm not making more until like next year. I make a significant amount more, and then I start doing more after that. But this year it feels like just a little bit. I'm not a farmer. When will I be in a committed relationship? So when I feel committed, like when you say that, it feels more like marriage or like a long-term, because I feel like when you're in a relationship, you're in the relationship. I do feel like dating off and on. I feel like meeting someone in the next 2 months, but I feel like that's short term. I feel like you're like really long term, like life partnery kind of person comes along in like 6 years. And I know that's a really long time, but I feel like I have maybe a 2-year relationship in between here and then. But I feel like the life partner is a little further out. Like the one that stays or the one that sticks. Not stays, because I feel like the 2-year one is. Maria, can I have a message from your spirit guide? Okay. Okay, sorry. I was just sometimes when I see these yes or no questions, like it's easier for me to answer them real quick. And it's way down there and I feel bad. I'm just gonna say, Isha, yes, you will get into medical school. Okay, Maria, I'm back at you here. Um, Maria, have you been working on meditation and connecting spiritually? Because the feeling I get is like needing to ground yourself more. I feel like I get carried away. Like I literally, as I'm here, I'm like, I feel like I'm off in the sky, like looking down, like looking around, looking down, like in the astronaut movies where like the one astronaut flies off and they're all by themselves. It's that feeling of like being so far out there and at peace and calm, but like having a harder time connecting without being overwhelmed, like, because I felt very anxious, like, when I connect in and I'm grounded, I also feel very anxious. You're very empathic, and it feels like I'm picking up on just the world and the earth in general, and part of being an empath means that you have to sort of go, other people have stuff, and they're gonna go through these experiences, and, emotions are going to run like this on a whole with people in general. And that's part of the human experience. And if you can take it off the table of being so, but I don't want people to have sadness and hurt and illness and all of that. And kind of, and it doesn't mean that you're not concerned or caring about people, but it just kind of pulling yourself outside of it and understanding that that is part of the human. It sucks, no doubt about it, but it is also part of the human experience, and it's part of the reason we come here to incarnate, is have all of that duality of good and bad and hurt and pain and struggle and healing and love and laughter. Like all of that is part of the human experience. So if you learn to like know that things suck in the world right now, and it doesn't mean you don't have empathy for people, but if you can try not to get super caught up emotionally in all of their stuff, it's helpful. Babyface, I didn't see yours, so you might not have been skipped. Okay, I didn't even see your name yet. Hold on. I'm not to Alessandra yet, so again, remember my order is different than yours. Okay. I don't even see any of your names. So just wait, and in a little bit, I'll ask for her to send me screenshots. Oh, yeah, I'm not even. Oh, I didn't see yours because you didn't even ask it as a question. You just said spirit messages. No, please. No, thank you. Come on, y'all. Common courtesy. Baby face. So I'll get y'all in a minute, okay? Mm. This is part of the reason I'm gonna start charging too, because I just feel like there's a lot of like demands and like, hey, what about me? And this is free. So I guess when something's free and I don't get seen, I usually am just like, well, whatever. I'm not worried about it. Like I'm not paying for it anyway. So just remember that, like this is, you're not paying for it. All right, Alessandra. Um, so the feeling I get is having your like they're showing me like an octopus with tentacles and everything. Like kind of like having your hand, having your thoughts, having your like sort of like I don't want to say you're the gossip, but I feel like a lot of people talk to you about a lot of different things going on and it's sort of like kind of cutting that off and not paying so much attention to all of the stuff going on outside and really sort of focusing on how you feel, what your thoughts and ideas are for the world, and not listening to all the outside stuff and how you feel about people and sort of like making your own judgments without all the outside noise is what I feel like is really important to you. Because I feel like it's clouding your own judgment and your intuition when you're sort of listening to all the outside noise. Stephanie. And you know what? I think there was also a reason that why Spirit brought me to to these ones first is because the one I gave to Shauna was really important for everybody. So for whatever reason, whoever's still here needed to hear that, and maybe you needed to hear that message before you bounced off and got your answer. So keep that in mind too. The universe has a really beautiful way of making things fall into place the right way. Oh, I just lost some. Shoot. Um, KK, can you shoot me the 8:34, the minutes for 8:34, the questions for the 8:34 time? Um, okay, Stephanie, sorry. I think Stephanie, did you just want a general reading? And then Babyface, I know you had a specific question. Oh, I'm not down. I keep feeling like I'm not connecting in, Stephanie. So it's not that I think they're doing this symbolically because it's the same way I felt with somebody else where I feel like I'm not grounded, I'm not connecting in. It's like sort of focusing on finding your center. Um, it's that feeling of like I've been doing a ton and ton and ton of meditations because I'm really enjoying like the whole spiritual thing and connecting in, and I'm not really connecting in with my body. The other thing is that when people tend to do is like they'll be like, oh, I'm so stressed out, I need to have a drink to relax. And it sort of actually takes you further out of your body than relaxing and kind of like connecting back in with yourself. So it just feels like needing to grounding and centering. meditation. I have a little white light centering meditation. It's very quick. It's very easy. I would recommend doing that because it just feels like I need to like come back in, that I've like opened myself wide up and I'm just like bleeding out and pouring out for the rest of the world. KK, can you send me those screenshots for I think it's like 8:34 is the time. I'm going to just keep answering the rest of these. Because Babyface, I know that you had a specific question and I can't remember what it was. And then I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody else because I think then I pretty much was caught up. See, I did Maria's, Donata's, I did Breezy. Here you go. Thanks, KK. Breezy. I'm just going to answer a few just to kind of get me through so I don't scroll and then lose. I don't have any messages from Richard. It feels like wanting a clean break and wanting boundaries and wanting to just be like very shut off. Okay, here we go. Babyface, how will I meet the man that is potential love relationship soon? Will I meet a man that is a potential love relationship soon? I'm getting 2 months, but I don't know if it's potential relationship, but it just feels like somebody that I connect with enough to be in a relationship with. I never dated people for long periods of time because I figured if I don't see a potential for marriage, like I'm not wasting my time. And it's like, but it feels like this is somebody. So it feels like in 2 months or so. I don't know if you go to church, but it feels like there's some spiritual connection there. Okay. Then I did Jade High. Did I do yours? Yeah, I did Jade High. So it was just the 3 people that I missed. And then Donata Farmer. Okay, I'm caught up now. All right, cool. All right. Will I stay at my current job until I choose to leave on my own? I heard yes, you will. Very specifically, yes, you will. Wanda Davis, you can ask a question. I hope you got one in. Melody Soter, I was wondering what my lesson is with my husband and I. I feel like we had a lot of different past lives together. Oh, you have. Like I said that with others. You do. We spend a lot of lives with other people. Like family members and things like that. We just kind of change roles, and sometimes you're just acquaintances in one life or short-term friends. I feel like the biggest thing that they keep talking about with your relationship is really about communication and finding balance and honoring that with each other. It's interesting. I feel like there was a past life where I see him as a little boy, and I don't know if it's like a younger figure to you. So like I don't know if it's a son or if it's a little brother with an age gap. But it feels like choosing, like having a really special bond in that lifetime and choosing a role, which sounds creepy, I know, but the soul is like when people are like, do my guides see me in the bathroom or doing things? And I'm always like, well, I mean, the thing to say is I was like, no, they give us our privacy, but like the reality is like they don't really give a shit what we're doing because it's like not that interesting. I mean, it's interesting, but it's not like, it's like as a nurse, when I was first a nurse, I was a postpartum, antepartum, GYN surgical nurse. So I saw like people's hoo-haws all the time because I was checking for bleeding and everything else. And it was like, I had to be respectful that it's their privacy, but it was like, not like I was like, oh, I was like nothing new, like there was nothing like sexual or exciting about it. It was like looking at your toe. Like it was that equivalent. So when I say this to you, that you were in this role together and you decided that you wanted like life partners together in this life, that was the role that you chose from having lived this life where there was a separation and there was a reason that you couldn't spend together to the end. And it feels like this age gap. So someone passes away much sooner. So it feels like wanting to have a lifetime where you're together as partners for a long, for like, and real partners, versus like, when your siblings are best friends, like you're not really, I don't know. It just feels like that to me. It's like wanting it for that reason in this lifetime. Can I give you a number for the lotto? No, it doesn't work that way for me, Lovey. I'm sorry. Because there's so many other ways for us to grow. And I have actually, like forever ago, I wrote a thing on why it was. So when I first was trying to figure out if this thing was real, I went and saw the Kentucky Derby in a bar with my husband when we were dating. And I sort of like, all right, y'all, if this is real. Oh, we went to an off-track betting place in Manhattan, and then we saw the race at a bar. Well, we went to this OTB place, and I was like, I looked at him, I didn't have any cash on me. I was like, can I have $20? And because I said to my guys, I was like, if this is real, give me a number. Like, if I'm really doing this, like, prove it to me. And the first number I saw in my head was 6. So I looked up at the boards, and the first 6 I saw, I picked, and it was the number 6 horse. And it was like a 1 in 38 odds this horse was going to win. It was like, I brought the $20 up, and the guy's like, do you know what you're doing? I was like, nope, not a clue. And he's like, okay, dummy. And then, we're watching the race, and like the horse wins. So I turned $20 into 800 and something dollars. So I wish that I could say that, that's what I use them for all the time, but I don't, because there's a lot of really cool and amazing things that I can do with this gift that has nothing to do with that kind of thing. So I feel like it's a lower level energy to sit and pick lotto numbers for somebody when I can really help them heal and grow. And thank you, Rose, for the kind words. All right, I did Isha's. Jay Han, any messages for you? Hello, Joy Love. I don't know if these people are still here. It's late, I know. And I've been on here a while. This is part of the reason why I start making people pay, because I'm hoping we can roll through these a little bit quicker. Are you a computer programmer or do something with analytics? That's like the first thing I saw. And then it felt like thinking outside of the box. I kept saying, thinking outside of the box, think outside of the box to solve the problem. You're welcome, spiritual seeker. No. Why do I keep seeing you being more analytical and more, so I would have a job that would be with numbers or with math. I don't know, whatever it is. It just feels like needing to think outside of the box and be more creative. I'm so afraid I just lost a whole bunch of numbers. No, I didn't. Okay, good. Sorry, I'm just making sure that I'm at the screenshots so if I scroll down, I'm not going to lose anything. Duck at math. You suck at math. I don't know what this is, but it's needing to think outside of the box and be more creative to solve the problem. So I don't know what this is. I don't know why I'm not getting more on it, but just think outside of the box. Whatever this is, think outside of the box to solve the problem. So if you're looking for a job, don't think this is whatever I'm doing, this is how I am. And so it has to be this way. It feels like I look at life and it has to be this way. And if it doesn't fit quite that way, it feels frustrating. It feels like it creates discomfort and irritation. So like, here's on a spiritual aspect, because obviously you're open to all of this stuff, right? So it's not that you're not like a stick in the mud, but I have had friends who were super, super Christian and could only see their like, this is my religion. And they would get frustrated that they couldn't get somebody to believe what they believed. And they had good intention. They weren't, being jerks about it, but it feels like thinking outside of the box like that, maybe what somebody else believes or how somebody else lives is like, I don't know. It feels like thinking outside of the box to solve the problem. I don't know what it means, but I know I'm getting it for a reason because they always give me that stuff for a reason. So it might not make sense now. It might not make sense tomorrow. It might take 3 weeks to make sense, but it feels like needing to think outside of the box to solve the problem, that it's not going to be just right in front of me. Yes, that could be it. Think outside of the box. Jahan, are you looking for a job? Is that what Florida Monchita? That's a cute name. It's fun to say. Florita Monchita. Just thinking outside of the box to solve the problem. Hi, Annie. Okay. Okay, Nicola Barnard says, any messages, please? The way I'm getting this is sort of like, not that I think you're using somebody, but it feels like maybe taking advantage of a situation that you shouldn't be, or a person that you shouldn't be. And it's a feeling of just really, really understand that what you put out there comes back to you. So before you, and even if it's an innocent thing, like it's not that big of a deal, right? Just remember that stuff, everything comes back to you tenfold, good, bad, and ugly, whatever. It all comes back to you tenfold. So it just feels like, even if it's not that big of a deal, and even if it's like a minor thing, like stay on the up and up for your own good. Joy Love, what is going on with your mother and you? All I get is power struggle, and it actually feels like more coming from your mom. So it feels like you trying to set a boundary, and it's like a total normal, healthy boundary, like because you're working on healing and doing stuff in your life, and your mom's pushing back and not liking it because she likes the old dynamic because that was easy. Even if it's unhealthy, it was easy. And so your mom sort of like it just feels like that it feels like it'll settle out soon and kind of like, it feels like, I don't know why October keeps coming up. So there's got to be something planetary that October, November keeps coming up for people. But it feels like by the middle of October, it'll be more normal. It sucks until then, but it'll be like, just if you've been setting boundaries and that is in fact what's going on. It just feels like don't stop because it's uncomfortable for her. GM so HOV. Any messages for you? Your grandmother passed away before you were born, and my birthday just passed. Seeing lots of butterflies. It could be Dolores or Cindy. It could be other. So I will tell you this. Whatever language you make up and decide that this is what it means whenever I see this, that is what it means whenever you see that. So butterflies for me mean transformation. That's a message from spirit for me, meaning my guides. Whenever I see butterflies, it has nothing to do with any family members that have crossed over. That said, it doesn't mean that for you. Again, my language doesn't have to be your language. You create your own language with spirit. That's why this stuff sort of takes a while to build, because you are building your own language. It is not set in stone and the same for every single person. And it's sort of cool too, then, because you know the message is just for you if it comes a certain way. I'm going to leave you with that because neither one of them is coming through on their own. But I think that that's a really important lesson for you as you're growing and doing this. I feel like when you were a baby, you actually saw stuff. Like I keep getting like seeing things and like feeling like I know they're around and these are here. And that sort of goes away as I get older. But I feel like you were talked about as being a special baby. Natalie Hutchinson, I hope you're able to help me understand what is this message of the red cardinal is consistently trying to tell me, or what's the message am I missing? What I will tell you to do, because I don't know, again, cardinals kind of mean, but I would look up, Natalie, look up spirit animal medicine and a cardinal, because that is sometimes how we get messages from spirit, is in that way. Adriana, how many more minutes do I have? A lot. Sorry, because we've been here a while. Gosh, there was like 50 people here in the beginning and only 28 thumbs ups. That's disappointing, isn't it? Adriana. Do you suffer from depression or postpartum depression? Or I just feels like I literally hear baby blues, but I just feel like feeling very down about life. Does this make sense to you? Kill the spotted lantern fly, Rose. Don't feel guilty. Kill it. I don't know the name of most of my spiritual guides, Florida. I think I just know their energy, so I don't really care about their names. I mean, I don't know. I always assume that their name is something so weird that I'm not going to be able to like Like that it's not going to be like George or Bob. So I just go with, and like Yeshua is one of my guides, Jesus. I do feel him around a lot, but I hear like he told me his name in Aramaic, and I'm not fluent in Aramaic, but he was like, that's Jesus is not my name, it's the name you people gave me. And he told me how to say his name. And then this was in a deep meditation. And then I went and like Googled how to say Jesus in Aramaic, and I was like, holy crap. So I'm not worried about their names. I'm looking for a validation from Adriana, who is probably not here anymore. So I'm going to keep moving. Okay. The next one is Angels 1111. I was wondering if you can see if my son really saw a ghost in our home, or was he dreaming? Thank you. I appreciate what you do. He was not dreaming. He really did see it. But I don't feel like it was like a haunty, scary ghost. It just feels like a spirit passing through, and more like he sees stuff more than just that. And I also feel like he feels people's energy and emotions. He's very sensitive to people. So he would have been the kid that would have hid and kind of been more repel away from people and their energy. Banshee. Wait. Which one is for me? Sagittarian or Libra M? The Mrs. Right one. Banshee, if you're here, can you give me names, please? Oh, just tell me a name. That works better for me. So I'm waiting on Banshee. Let's see, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. If Banshee is still here, if not, yeah. Oh, Adriana, you're here right now. Did I say anything? I don't remember what I said. That happens. Tiara, I'm not taking any new questions tonight. So, Adriana, did I give you a message? Me being depressed. Oh, okay. So that makes sense. Sorry, that happens. That's called psychic amnesia. Okay, so feeling very depressed. Okay. So I don't know that you need therapy for this or medication for this. I do feel like there was issues in your relationship. I do really, really think the holistic psychologist would be really, really great for you to see some of your patterns of behavior and where they come from. But I feel like as far as like feeling over it and over the breakup and feeling like ready to start over and I'm like ready for a new relationship, I feel like that's about December. So it just takes a little time for you to kind of heal and not so much just nurse the broken heart, but like really trust that you're ready to get back into a relationship and you have the potential to meet somebody again. And I don't think Banshee is here anymore. So I'm going to move on. I'm not going to answer questions if we're not here, especially if I don't know what you're asking. Jasmine, how does RB feel towards me? Does he still love me? No. I feel like RB has moved on. That's not a bad thing. Trust that like things don't work out. Sometimes that's a blessing. In fact, every time things haven't worked out for me in a relationship, it's been a blessing. Really and truly. Chardonnay. Caramel apple, spiritual advice for the next move to make in my life. Or caramel, wherever you're from. If you're from I don't know, I think in Texas you say caramel. But up here it's caramel. Caramel apple. Incidentally, I really do like caramel apples. Spiritual advice for the next move to make in your life. It really feels like the most important thing for you to learn is to hold to your truth and hold to what you know to be real, no matter what anybody says around you. There is a reason you were given the vision that you were given and the way you were given things. And even if somebody says that's crazy and you can't do it that way, there was a reason you were given it, not somebody else. So it just feels like learning to really stand in like your own truth and not waver because of what's going on outside of you. Okay. I think I've hit the end. Oh, wait. Channel Underwood. Chanel. Sorry. Chanel Underwood. How is my Aunt Valeria? She passed away October 17th, 2019. I will see if I connect in. It's not always that. It's harder. It takes longer to do that. So let me see if Chanel, are you still here? Don't change to outside circumstances. Listen, it took me years to get to the point where I was like, when people would say to me, like, you're crazy. Oh, you think you can do this? Yeah, I do. It took me a long time to get really comfortable with just being like, yeah, I do. And instead of like feeling, do you think I'm crazy? Like, and questioning and looking for their validation. Like, there was a reason I was given this gift and other people weren't. There is a reason that I am drawn to want to help people in this way and other people aren't. For whatever reason, it's for me and not for others. And I do believe everybody can be psychic, but I'm saying like not everybody who is developing their intuition wants to do readings and work in this way. So just learn to hold tight because the vision is given to you for a reason. It's hard, and understand too, little kids will tell you it in a different way, but my kids see stuff all the time. So, oh, KK, yes, you did. I'm so sorry. I will give you your message. Can I email your message? No, let me see. But I'm waiting to see who was the last person. Chanel, are you here? Because I cannot do a mediumship reading without you here. And I won't do it without you here. So, oh, you're here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's see if we can connect in with Valeria. Okay. Okay. I know. Okay, give me a second. Let me see. Did she have something going on with her head? Because I feel a headache and I also feel like really sensitive to sound. And I feel a lot of confusion. She had terrible headaches. Do you know if like, her passing, it just feels like there's so much going on around me and I feel confused. Does this make sense? Thank you, Rose. I always appreciate knowing you're here. Ah, okay. But in her passing in the moment was it just feels like I'm watching everything going around me and everybody working around me. She was always confused. So maybe that's why. Just feeling like everything's happening around me and I don't know what's going on. Even if you knew she was gonna pass, this is the feeling I get. Even if you knew it was my time, whatever, I still feel like it was sudden. It still feels like, wait, what? Already? Like, because and the feeling I get with her is like, I just didn't want to live like this anymore. I didn't like it anymore. I was done being like this. Does that make sense? Like her passing would have been, even if, again, like 'cause sometimes we know like someone's gonna pass, we know they're near their time, but it still feels sudden. It still feels like, wait, it wasn't supposed to, like the nurse said that it wasn't gonna happen for like 3 weeks, and now like it's all of a sudden. Okay. It just, the feeling I get is I wanted to be done with all of this. I needed to be done with all of this. I feel better now. I am at peace now. Everything feels like I can breathe again. I can relax again because it feels like when everything's happening around me, it's that feeling of like constant anxiety, constant flight or fight, and just wanting to be done with that, wanting to not feel afraid and scared. And it wasn't because anybody was doing anything to hurt her, it was just not understanding what was going on. So I feel like I'm constantly like this. Thank you. For real. This is so long. Um, Shout out to KK too for hanging in here and being so awesome. Um, it's either La Pera or La Perla. I can't remember. So look up both of those. She has brown, long hair. She's probably in her early 40s. I feel like I'm in the moments of not even being, I mean, listen, you would be better if you were confused and like all kinds of crap went down, but um it's that feeling of like when I'm not healthy and everything is confused, it's like I'm constantly on edge. You're welcome, Allie. Um, just know that she's okay and like it was sort of like her choice to not drag it out and to be done, and that she's at peace now. Sorry, I just thought I heard my 3-year-old awake. When it's 10:30 at night and you're hoping everybody is still sleeping. um, okay, can I leave you with that? Are you satisfied? You're welcome. All right, so KK, I'm going to shoot you an email just so I can get off because it's 2 hours. Everybody who's still here, thank you so much for being here and for being supportive and kind and wonderful and understanding. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. If you're still awake or you want to set an alarm clock, prime time to manifest is 12 midnight to 2 a.m. on Pacific time, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. New York time. So find your time zones wherever you're at in the world. That's like coming in a few hours, prime time to manifest whatever you're looking for. So I'm setting my alarm. I'm not kidding you. I'm going to start writing them out so that I can just go over them at that time. May you all have an abundance of every good and wonderful thing in your life. Enjoy your week. I will see you in September. Is it going to be September already or is it August? Whatever. I'll see you next Sunday. Have a good one.